Why be easy when you can just die? Woo! Wow! I'm Chewy Mew. Welcome to my channel, but more specifically, welcome back to Venom Month, day number 23. A figure that I've already taken a look at, and that is the ToyBiz Marvel Legends Sinister 6 box set. Trying to straighten him out here. So this guy, I got this guy. We're not doing a review of this guy. Spoilers. Sort of ish. We are eventually near the end of the month because there's a reason for that. But as far as that goes, this is one of my favorite figures of all time ever. I got this figure along with the whole Sinister 6 box set. But we're not taking a look at the figure. I mean, we are sort of ish. I feel like my lighting these days has been really dark, you know? I don't really know whose art this Venom is based off of. It does have sort of a early, like, late 90s, late 80s, early 90s appearance of Venom where he wasn't crazy monstrous and super crazy looking. Like, Eric Larson slowly started moving him in that direction. But it wasn't until, like, the mid to late 90s when he started looking like a crazy, like, monster looking thing instead of looking like a big muscular dude with, like, a shark head and claws. And I've gone ahead and made him another head sculpt here, just so I can kind of have a sort of more, I guess, teeth showing Venom instead of the whole monster with the tongue Venom. And so what we can do is we can pop the head off here. I would not recommend popping the head off like this. I did take it off before. I boiled it to take it off, and I sanded down the peg. So you can see the half the peg is missing here, so that way I can swap the head on and off. And then the head sculpt I made was actually made by me completely from scratch out of clay. I'm taking them here off camera to put it on. And, you know, here it is. Boom, there we go. That's my custom Venom head sculpt that is super loose. I did this out of clay, and this is actually technically my second ever head sculpt I've made. The first one was for my custom Spider-Man the Lead, but that was mostly just making a ball and then putting goggles and like a strap on it. This one actually had to sculpt the details. I mean, Spider-Man the Lead was hard too. It's not like it was really easy, but compared to this, it was a bit easier. So I tried going a little bit for the design where he has kind of like the lower jaw, like his jaw is kind of curling down instead of just, you know, more like a human design where the jaw kind of goes straight out. This one kind of curls down, and the tongue there too, and the teeth. Let's take a look at this head sculpt here. Let's move the joint so we can take a look at this. And boom, there it is. So it's painted this glossy black paint, and I kind of sculpted it here. So this, you may notice an indent right here and on this side. What I did was I just squeezed it like that to kind of make like more of a human shape. My inspiration for it was, as far as the design, was a little bit kind of like this. I was kind of going for this type of shape, except this size. It didn't work good, so I ended up having to make the lower jaw like this. And having the lower jaw like that lets the tongue stick out. So when I made it, the tongue broke off, and it didn't work, so I had to sculpt the tongue separately, and then I put it on here. Like after I already finished making this head sculpt, I had to go back and super glue this tongue on, because the original one broke off. But I mean, there's not too much to show about the head sculpt. I did try sculpting in the lines for the head, and it didn't, I can't speak. It didn't work too good, you know, like it looks, I think it looks decent, but it's definitely not the best handmade head sculpt there is. The teeth came out looking pretty cool, I think. I mean, the teeth look kind of messy. So this clay is not the clay that I normally use. This clay is not squishy. The tongue is not squishy, like the bendable clay, like the tongue you can see here is. I'm going to break it. I'm not going to do that. It's going to like come off of the mouth. But yeah, this head is made out of harder clay. I usually use like a squishier clay, or like it's like more flexible. Like this here is one of my custom Kraven the Hunter daggers. You can see this is like super bendable and flexible. You can even twist it and it breaks. Never mind, you can't twist it. Yeah, and I didn't use that material for the head. If I did, it would feel like clay that gets completely hard. It feels like it's harder to work with than clay that is kind of a little soft when it dries. But either way, so that's why the teeth, because I actually sculpted the teeth better than that. But once it dries, it's like it shrinks and then it gets hard. It's kind of weird. So you kind of have to overcompensate with details, or else the details just kind of disappear. But either way, I think this head sculpt does look pretty cool. As far as like the posability, it basically has all the articulation that the normal head has. Like you can look all the way up with it. It rotates all the way around. You can have it look down. Like you see, if we have his body straight, you can see he looks. I mean, you can't really look down. Like that's. Never mind. You can't really look down. Kind of have him like at an angled look down, but his head's a bit heavy, so it does fall. But You do get all the same movement as you do with this head. Just it's loose because, like I said, I don't want to risk putting glue dots because what if it gets ruined somehow? And like I said, it shrinks a little bit, and the hole on the head on the back of the head, I actually drilled this afterwards, and it came out looking really weird. So you know, I probably could do better if I do make other head sculpts like for Venom or for whoever. You know, if it's like a monster character like Venom or Carnage or like a masked Spider-Man that's just a head, that probably is easy. But like trying to sculpt like a face, like a character's face, might not be the easiest. Oh, actually, never mind. I have sculpted other heads before. I also sculpted the one for my custom Prowler, which shout out to Mr. L because this is dedicated to Mr. L because he guessed which custom I was making. And yeah, so I also made this head out of clay too, kind of like an egg shape. But I did sculpt. So that's 3 heads I made out of clay, but that one is just basically just an egg, so it's not like super complicated. But either way, as far as that goes, I will be reviewing this figure near the end of the month. It is the 23rd of March, so we're running out of days. But I have some really hype things planned for the end. I do know one thing near the end is actually going to be pretty hype, so get ready for that. But yeah, that's all for this video. Let me know what you think about this Venom head sculpt, and I will see you guys in the next video. Wow.